On this episode of the Empty Netters podcast, the Four Nations Face-Off Championship recap is here, and it is, in fact, not our game.
Team USA might have got a little too cocky a little too early, and they get bitched by Canada in the final, but there were some unreal performances in that game. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and joining me, a man who has never visited the pyramids, but is certain that they were built by the aliens, and he will not hear anything otherwise about it. Chris Powers.
As always, and they were, so...
Well, you're probably right.
I am right. I'm 100% right.
It's hard to explain otherwise. Hard to explain otherwise. Huge shout out to Big Night Live here in Boston, right in the Garden. Well, maybe this is our favorite.
It's my favorite studio.
This is our favorite studio ever. It's our favorite away barn for sure. Yeah. Love being here. Love being in Boston. Love wrapping up Four Nations, but also hate it because I can't believe it's over. Dude.
Yeah.
I feel like Boxing Day.
December 26th.
Yeah.
This is December 26th.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Which is just the other day, by the way. Like the fact that I have to receive a December 26th
twice,
and then a February 21st
2 times
that close.
Horrible.
That's not okay. That's not okay.
You can hear it in our voices. You can see it in our faces. It has been a whirlwind couple of weeks. This has been the most incredibly fun and exciting hockey experience of my life.
Fact.
Without a doubt. I can't say enough good things about everything that just happened. Everything that just happened with Four Nations. All of these games, all of these results, all of these players, all of these unbelievable people with the NHL who helped make this happen. Everyone at ESPN, everyone at TNT. I could keep go on and on, but this has been truly perfect. Every day has been, you know that scene in
yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Office Space. Every day that you're seeing me, that's on the worst day of my life. Since I boarded the plane to come to Four Nations until now, every day that you are seeing me, that was on the best day of my life. I can't begin to describe the amount of fun, but also just pure vibes I've had. Like, I'm not sitting here being like, dude, this was just summer camp. It was just fun every day. It was a lot of hard work. It was a lot of grinding, dude. It was a lot of going out when I didn't want to go out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of performing when I couldn't perform. I had nothing left in the tank.
Yep.
I was running on E. And I still went, dude. And I did it for the boys. I did it for the guys on the ice.
For the team.
And I did it for the fans.
Not for the name on the back, dude. For the name on the front.
I don't do it for the videos. I do it for the flag.
Yeah, but we do it for the cameras also.
In fact, it's the only thing I do.
Unfortunately, we actually only do it for the cameras.
In fact, there is no nation that would want me to represent their flag. They're like, just stay in front of the camera, you goddamn
Go
idiot.
dance, you idiot.
You
Go
monkey.
Dance, yeah.
You idiot monkey. Smash your cymbals together, dude.
Oh, dude.
That's me, dude.
Yep.
I'm a wind-up monkey. But it has been just the best time ever. And I mean that as just a hockey fan.
Dude, we
Holy hell.
In the Vegas Cup a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Was when the show really started to get big, and the NHL brought us out there, and we were on the ice with our friend Jack, celebrating the Vegas Stanley Cup win.
Yeah.
And someone even commented on that video, how the fuck are these guys on the ice? This is insane. But I remember thinking, as a hockey fan, Dan, and sitting here with you, we talked about it. I don't even think on a show. I said, what an incredible experience we just had. Like, you and I are on the ice at Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, or whatever game that was, I think 5. So we've had some cool things happen. Some Winter Classics, some Stadium Series, some NHL TV shows, all this stuff. That was bananas.
It was unbelievable, dude.
Bananas, dude.
You know, I don't want to rip off Jans here because I know Jans just said something really similar. But we talk a lot about Laz. Laz had a great comment last year. We were chatting on the pod, and he said something like, "Don't forget that you're a fan. Don't forget that you're a fan."
Yeah, I remember that.
And nothing like that has happened. But I will say, it is, as we keep growing this show, as we have great interactions with different teams, different guys in the league, you start rooting for your pals. You start rooting for people in your corner, and you want to be in their corner, and it blurs the lines of fandom.
Yep.
And this, like I said, Canada-US, I said it on the pod, that was the most fun I've had watching a hockey game in years.
Yep.
And I have fun watching every hockey game. but it was back to basics, dude. Stick to the basics.
Stick to the basics.
I felt like every game we can get bogged down with work, trying to get content, talking to people, doing different things. The way that we were watching those games, just completely fixated on the product on the ice, seeing the passion on the boys' faces, I felt like being a kid again. Dude.
Yeah.
I felt like going to your first games when you look around and you go, I can't believe I'm in the Garden.
Yep.
And it was like that just every single time.
Insane. Listen to this. Our good friends at BetMGM sent us this. This was sick. USA Canada final was not only the most bet hockey event this season, but it was the most bet in BetMGM history.
Dude.
Gas.
And the viewership that we've seen, every single Four Nations game, I believe, is a top 20 viewed NHL game this year for TV ratings.
Dude, this killed me, Dan.
Hockey took over, dude.
Yeah.
Hockey took over
How
the
are
country.
you? Nice to meet you.
Hockey took over the country these last 2 weeks. Obviously, the Montreal Brawl helped that.
Yep.
But hockey took over. It was so sick. Popping on Twitter, popping online, talking in all of our group chats, and seeing other people in the sports world who don't necessarily dial into hockey. Locks and Luke.
Yep.
Got huge sports guys, but they're not necessarily the biggest hockey fans. They were dialed watching that game.
Yep.
And it's just, like you see it. You see Brady tweeting about it. You see like McGregor tweeting about it. Like a lot of sports guys who aren't first and foremost hockey guys were talking about it. And it's not Stanley Cup final. It's an in-season tournament, and this took over everybody. And it's just like, oh my God.
Dude.
The amount that we've talked about, all this needed to be was just tee up Milan.
Yeah.
Get us ready for the Olympics, and holy hell did it do exactly that.
People on other accounts have been coming up with ways of how to do this for them. Like they're like, how do we do this for football? How do we do this for basketball? And I'm like, dude, you can't.
You can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why hockey is the best sport. That's why,
dude.
It's always so funny to me when we talk about Olympics and people are like, oh yeah, Olympic basketball, I can't wait. And I'm like, do you guys watch hockey? Like, have you watched Olympic hockey? And it's back. And now, I think people are going to be chomping at the bit for this now. And I don't mean just hockey fans. I mean, sports fans are going to be like, Winter Olympics, hockey.
And NHL playoffs, dude. Like, everyone's like, how do you keep the momentum up? And I'm like, playoffs are right here, dude.
Playoffs
So
are in a month.
Yeah, so strap in. Dude, just real quick, this killed me. 5 of the top 7 most bet hockey events this year were Four Nations games.
Sick.
So 2 of the top 7 weren't. 1 Winter Classic, probably. And I'm like, what is the other?
Do you not know?
No.
I was like, yeah, what?
Like, I need to know.
That's so funny.
Like,
but Winter Classic makes sense.
Probably Winter Classic. There's probably a lot of bets on that,
That's
but
really funny.
I'm dying to know what the most bet hockey game this year was that wasn't those 2 or 4
That
Nations.
is so funny. Holy shit. That's hilarious. Let's get into the game.
Yep.
Game was everything.
Everything.
This game was everything. The hype leading up to it, I loved that we had 2 days.
Yeah, same.
Gave some of the guys some rest. Obviously, some guys were still banged up, which is a bummer, but I loved that there were a couple days. It just built up the hype. We wake up and, there's all these videos that are dropping that are so sick, but a big one, dude, getting to Greatest Bar.
Oh, my God, dude.
We get to the Greatest Bar, doing our meet and greet there. Huge thanks to the Greatest Bar. Huge thanks to the Chicklets boys.
Julie.
We did it with them as well. Seeing all these fans, Canadian fans, U.S. fans alike, singing Freebird in there. That place was packed. And we knew, everyone knew, but you knew that the Garden was going to be insane.
Yes.
From that showing alone. Just a bar.
4:30, dude.
Seeing 4 floors of that bar
Yeah.
absolutely packed and people going nuts at 4:30.
I was like, oh my
I was like,
God.
holy hell. We get into the arena, like we always say, seeing every seat filled during warmies. What a cool feeling.
Yep.
That doesn't even happen at the Cup, man.
Correct. Oh, correct.
It
100%.
really doesn't.
Yep.
Anthem.
I got something to say here, dude.
Anthem was sick. Both. Actually, you're right. What I was going to say is it didn't quite match Bell Center, but it's just impossible to match Bell Center. It was as good as we could have ever asked it to be at the Garden, I think. I'm going to say this, however, and I feel really bad about what I'm about to say. The human who sang the anthems, what were you doing? Why was she taking so long? everyone in that arena. There were, I think, a little bit of emotions. We made our speech about no booing.
Yep.
There was a couple of boos.
There was more than a couple boos.
And but they got drowned out.
Yep.
People were like, fuck you. And then a lot of Americans started singing the Canadian national anthem. And I was like, hell yeah. And by the first 20 seconds, they were washed out. And it was just singing. But dude, we're all trying to sing the anthem. And this woman is taking 5 full second pauses between verses. And I was like, what are you doing? You're killing us here.
I thought the anthems were a disaster. I'm serious, because I was so looking forward to it too. I wanted no boos. Of course, we said this. I wanted everybody to sing both. Not only were there boos, but also when I don't even want to sing because my voice is shot and I don't have a good singing voice. But we would be like she'd be like, and the rockets red glare.
Yeah.
We'd go, and the bombs bursting in air.
Yeah.
And then I would stop and I would hear her go, the bombs bursting. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? It's like the Oneaters in that thing you do when he's like, it's too fast, man, it's too fast.
Dude.
I needed shades. I needed Spartacus on the drums to pick that baby up.
Can
dude.
I get the ox and lamb to keep time during that anthem,
bro.
for the love of God?
It was insane.
Get a metronome.
I was appalled at how slowly
It was appalling.
they were doing that.
It was appalling.
The whole arena was singing verses ahead of them.
Oh, yeah.
It was
And at that point,
ridiculous.
just shut up and let the arena sing.
Yeah, dude.
She should have just gone, yes, this is exactly what you want.
Yep.
This is exactly what you want. But instead, she was looking around, listening to it clearly.
Yeah.
And then she'd go, now I will do my. And,
Yeah, dude. It was like a repeat. She was like, "I'll go, then you go, then I'll do the next line, then you do the next line." I was like, "These aren't my wedding vows, pal. I'm good. I know the words."
Just crazy, dude. Crazy stuff. It was the energy from the fans was so good, but the performance from the singer was tough.
Yep.
Was lacking, to say.
Okay, I've got some bullet points here. I'll fire away. Everybody saw the game, right? It was incredible. Nate Dogg first. Locks, you're an asshole. We told Locks to bet on the game.
Hey, Gavin, you're an asshole. I posted it on the story,
Yeah.
our text thread. I was like, I like Canada scoring first, and I like Nathan McKinnon. And Locks, our gambling guy, just didn't do it.
Didn't do it. Cost me thousands, which I lost at the casino.
Yeah.
So that could have cleaned up my encore nights.
Twice. Two times.
2 times. Hey, Locks, you owe me $2,000.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that.
Yeah.
Nate Dogg first. Brady, our unsung hero,
My God.
ties it. Sanderson scores to go up.
Dude, can I pause?
Yeah.
So happy for him.
Same.
Because the ricochet shots he was getting.
Yeah. From
Just
me, I
because
said
of
call
that.
in sick when I thought Quinn was
well,
coming.
yeah, I mean that was funny. I'm not gonna dog you for that. Yeah. But so many people were like, "We've got no shot. Sanderson's in the lineup," and I was like, "He's one of the best players, and he's one of the best defensemen in the NHL."
Yeah.
So calm down. And to come out, play as well as he did, get that goal was so cool.
Bennett, the menace, dude, under the bar, incredible goal.
Such a sick shot and a sick game from Bennett too.
Yep.
God, he was nasty.
So third period, no blood, OT. Obviously, everybody saw what happened.
Yeah.
Incredible back and forth, tense game.
Yep.
Crowd going crazy in both directions. It was really awesome.
And I'll give it to Binner. If you have a bullet point.
He's one. Go, Binner.
All right, Binner. Canada fans since the beginning.
Yep.
How is this guy our starting goaltender? I think he had decent performances, through
Yep.
all the games. Let in some weak ones, but so many people were like, a lot of Canadian fans were like, we might lose this game, and if we do, it's probably going to be his fault. He had, I think it was 32 saves, 34 shots or so for USA, 939 save percent, like a really good game, good statistical game. I think he's getting stroked off a little too much.
I don't know about this. You keep saying that to me.
But there are at least 2 very good saves in that third period in OT. And at least 2.
All the boys.
And ultimately, dude, he shows up in Boston again,
dude.
and he fucking slams the
Literally,
door.
dude,
So
I was having PTSD.
Yeah.
Dude. I was
What can you say?
You rat.
yeah, and it's Binner came out of nowhere and stole that Stanley Cup. And it had zero business to do so in 2019, and has just been kind of like whatever since.
Yep.
But here's another. No matter what happens,
gamer.
If he makes the team in Milan, if he doesn't, if he starts, if he doesn't, ultimately he has a cup in the first Four Nations Championship.
Yeah.
And he played really well in the final game, and that's sick,
dude.
Really
Because
sick.
I was one that was saying I thought both. I know you thought the Gensel one was cheeky, but I thought both goals were not great.
Yeah.
In the previous USA game, but I even admitted. At the end of the day, we scored 2 times on Binner. Like, even though if those are 2 soft goals, I'm like, we give up 2 goals. And you're Team Canada. You should win.
Exactly.
And he did it again.
Yep.
You give up 2 goals again, and you're Team Canada, so you won.
And you won.
Simple as that. So,
Definitely.
yeah, dude, I thought he, and he's like, I actually love when he wins stuff because he's just like, yo, what, dude, I'm the man.
Yeah. It's like, I'm the shit.
I was like, that's awesome, dude. So, yeah, a lot of people were dogging him, and I thought he got a ton of props from all the boys. Like, you listen to their post games. And they're like, and they address it. They're like, we knew Binner was getting ripped, but he stepped up again, like we knew he would. We all expected a great game from him. We got it. Let's actually go. Well, no, let's go here first. Mitch Marner. Pausing the pod to talk to you guys about our partners at BetMGM and this epic bet-get offer they have going for you right now. So what you do is you download the BetMGM app, you use promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, and if you bet $10 and if you win, they put $150 in bonus bets back into your account. Bang! How about that? Four Nations is over, so you can't bet on that anymore. And if you did, you probably would have bet on USA like I did, and you'd be pretty bummed about that. But good news, NHL is back. You can start betting on that. NBA's cooking. You can start betting on the baseball. Now, somebody threw a baseball the other day. Baseball's back. It's ridiculous. So bet on whatever you want, and do not miss out on this bet-get offer from BetMGM. Use that promo code NETTERS. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 21 plus only. Offer only available in Arizona, Colorado, D.C., Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia. Visit www.1800gambler.net for West Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. This promotional offer is for new customers only, subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. U.S. promotional offers not available in Mississippi, Nevada, New York, Ontario, and Puerto Rico. I thought the Leafs in general had a tough tournament. We had talked about this a little bit. Not that they were horrible, but just, they weren't having these bright, shining moments on a team that you're hoping.
Yeah, it was kind of after Marner's OT goal in the first game.
Yep.
He didn't do a ton.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Matthews didn't score. Nylander didn't score. There's like all this stuff going on. Marner made 2 plays in this game specifically.
That won the game.
The
100%.
cut in on Fox to free up Bennett was we were going crazy on Glaze job on Jack's pass to Gensel.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's honestly like an even better play with the cut in, but or different plays. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a beautiful, beautiful play.
Definitely.
That sets up that goal. Incredible shot. But that is poised from Mitch there.
It made Adam Fox look like a baby deer.
Yeah, dude.
And that was so tough, man. That play happened right in front of us, right where we were sitting. The second Marner picked that, I just looked at Fox's gap and his angle.
I know.
And I was like, you fucking idiot.
Uh-oh.
I was like, this is where I literally started going, uh-oh. In the neutral zone, I was saying, uh-oh. And just the way he turned, I was like, fuck me. Like, Bennett's slipping right behind him. Just such a good play that unfolded so early.
Yeah.
And watching it, you're like, oh, no. Here we go.
Dude, and then in the overtime goal, gets hard rim. I forget who pinched on the point there for Canada. Like someone, maybe McCarr was
It's Kale.
Yeah, Kale.
So that again, not to give myself so much credit here, the second Kale pressed and went down to the boards to hard rim around the net, I was like, game over. Game over, because if you look at the replay, Marner goes to the wall the second Kale takes his first step. He knows the play.
Dude, yep.
Puck gets to Marner, he plays it perfectly, and then Matthews just completely abandons.
Dude.
Connor fucking McDavid in the slot.
Bro.
And I was like, and goal.
So this will be a perfect transition, but I just wanted to throw flowers on Marner because it's so easy. He's a right shot to put your back to the center of the ice.
Yep.
Know that that's getting rimmed and just take it on your backhand and start wheeling out of the corner.
Yep.
Like, that's a good play too. But dude, he goes butt against the boards, left skate against the boards, kicks out right to forehand, bang. Like, everyone sees McDavid's wide open. I could have passed that, but I'm like, but you couldn't have got the puck on your forehand that fucking quickly.
It was such a pro play.
Keeping that vision that way too,
dude.
just like that was such an underrated pass that looked like such an easy pass. Yeah. So man, Mitch Marner, fucking great game. Yeah. Good job.
It must have been tough to murder your best friend in that play, though.
Yeah.
Like, the second he makes that play and sees
Matthews
Austin
coming at him,
overcommitting to him, and he's like, I'm sorry.
Dude,
so... Do you think he said, I'm sorry, as he passed?
Yes, he whispered it, though.
He just went like this. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry this had to happen to you.
I didn't want it to be you.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I didn't want it to be you. Yeah. So, we say this all the time, it's a fast game. When you don't know, because it's kind of that 3-on-3 down low when you're the centerman.
Yeah.
When you don't know who you have in a rotation, you're like, oh shit, they just rimmed it. Like, is that my guy in the corner? Or is that my guy? You need to always retreat to the middle. Like, if you're not fucking sure, you need to be like, okay, I'm going to stay here because I'll keep Mitch Marner in the fucking corner behind the goal line. Who cares?
Yeah.
And, dude, when 2 guys shot at him, and I look and I see a guy in the slot, and I'm like, I hope that's not Connor McDavid.
It would be great if that wasn't Connor McDavid.
Dude, like, dude, remember the fucking Cup Game 7 when I posted that clip where I was like, why are the Panthers... Connor McDavid is alone in the slot for like 5 seconds at the end of Game 7.
That's one of the funniest clips in the world. He's like he's actually literally standing alone.
Yeah.
He's almost like looking around like, guys.
And the Panthers have said, like, because it got brought up and they were like, we were never letting the puck get off the boards. We had it pinned so good. And I'm like, I believe you, but just...
If it did get off.
Yeah, I would just cover Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
So that's 2 times in the 2 biggest games of Connor McDavid's life.
And see that 97 is in the
He's
slot.
fucking
Maybe
by
throw
himself,
someone on
dude. I cannot believe that happened. And Dan Matthews, man, he's been kind of getting heat. I thought he played well defensively in this tournament. He had good sticks here and there. But that play is such a fucking gaffe for me. And this isn't his fault, dude, but it just blows that he has such good chances in OT. And, like, you're our guy.
So
like,
this is why I'm being a little bitch about giving Benner credit. They're good looks. They weren't good chances. He put shit shots on net.
Yeah.
He did. One he put on, like, some idiot in our DMs was like the low one where Benner just makes a pad save.
Yeah.
And he makes the save.
Yep.
He is a huge part of why they won that game. Someone was like, that was going in if he didn't have his leg down. I'm like, you mean it was on net?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a fine save, but it wasn't like a holy shit save.
I thought it was open.
That
like,
was
just elevate that
yes,
puck.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, elevate, and that goes in.
Yeah.
And then the glove save, it was like a weird kind of a cross body shot by Austin, which he's scored a million times, and I respect it. But if you watch, again, the replay, Benner's glove is right here the whole time.
I know.
And
Credit to him, though.
And he does,
He
positioning.
knew.
And that's something that we don't get talked about enough. When people are like, he shot it right in his glove. I'm like, well, that's good positioning.
Yeah, Julie the cat. Yeah.
That is a goalie who is in a good position doing what their job is. But that was one where he was like,
Yeah, dude. He did a little Statue of Liberty job,
like, yeah, dude, do it. Ham it up.
Little
like,
Patrick
he's
Waugh
got
job,
such good
dude.
attitude with that shit, and I love it. But those are the things where if you're Austin Matthews, if you're wearing the C in this tournament, if you haven't scored, you get those chances, you have to do better.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. And it's unfair. But
69
it's like,
goals 2 years ago, and Austin Matthews has those 2 slot chances against Jordan Binnington. Like you said, if you're Canada and if you're Jordan Binnington, you only give up 2 goals, you have to win.
Yeah.
And that is correct. And he did his fucking job. Austin Matthews, I'm like, if you get those 2 pucks, you have to score. And he did
that's
not.
your job.
And he did not do his job.
And to be clear, he feels way worse than I can ever make him. Like, he obviously knows that he's like,
also,
fuck, I had a
who
good
am I?
chance.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I would have put high stick was wide open. I had him. You know?
I'm just saying, the only point is I'm just like, Austin, I think Austin wants this tournament back.
Fuck
Like,
yeah, he does, dude. Fuck yeah, he does.
knows he didn't play that well. And
Yep.
Yeah, that was tough.
On the other side, in net, I just wanted to say we had called out pre-tournament. Big moment for Hellebuck. This is pressure games. He's had some playoff struggles. Let's see. I thought he had a great tournament.
Oh, he's fantastic.
And put to bed. If I'm a Jets fan or if I'm the Jets organization or his teammate, I have no issues going into playoffs. Now, if he gives up 8 in first game of round 1, I'm like, fuck, dude.
Big game player.
But yeah.
He earned big game player. He played great in every game he started. And yesterday, Bennett goal, sick goal.
Sick goal
and a sick pass.
Yep.
You're in a really compromised position. Connor goal, never in a million.
Sick goal,
no
dude.
goalie saving that.
Snipe
The
job.
only tough one is Nate's, but it's a screen.
Didn't see it. Yeah.
And I'll never
Sifted.
give him shit for that. Like, sifting puck through 5 bodies. So, Hellebuck, damn near perfect game. Fantastic.
Yep. Okay, and then Brady Tkachuk. I just want to say, Dan,
dude. What a fucking guy.
Dude, I was laughing with Merles at one point because Brady fucking scores, first of all, goes batshit, then he goes full human battering ram again. Like,
I know.
Every forecheck, he is
Fucking Dewey, man, again.
Dude, I was like, what are we
Stop
doing
hitting
here?
Dewey.
Yeah, it's my boy right there.
doing?
Dude, so he's going human battering ram. And then, I see him, limping back to the bench. And I looked at Merles and I go, dude, Brady Tkachuk is literally costing Ottawa the playoffs just to win this game. Ottawa is now out because he is now dead.
He's like you just said, battering ram is so perfect. Like Brady Tkachuk came into this tournament and he went like this: I'm going to destroy my body.
Yeah.
I'm going to destroy my existence to try to win this tournament.
And that's why he's a hero.
And that is why he is an American hero.
Dude, he literally, Ottawa, I have been so proud of Ottawa. I'm like, you're the 3 seed in the Atlantic. Ottawa's for sure in.
Yeah.
And I'll see if Detroit can sneak in, but Ottawa's for sure in. Ottawa is now out because Brady
Your best player and leader has self-destructed himself.
Oh my God, dude. But man, I have there were so many people like, oh, look, man, one of the Kachuk should be the captain, and I was like, Eichel, it's gonna be Eichel, dude.
Yeah.
Like, we love Jack, but I also think he's literally like the best American player, and it's whatever. We don't even have to have that debate right now, but
what's your next transition? Because
just that I wasn't big on the camp of, oh, it should be Brady. Like, I was like, no, it should be Jack, or I'm fine with Austin. But just, I don't know, there's something about the way he plays in that tournament where I'm like,
dude, it's
put a letter on his chest, dude.
100%, dude. 100%.
It's crazy, bro.
There's a few. I mean, I think I can say a lot about that. 2 guys you just brought up before I get back into, we'll call it the leadership group of USA. Jacob Slavin is the best player I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yep.
His blocked shot in that game, just the plays that he was making all over the ice. We talked a lot about the respect that McDavid showed for Hedman on that one-on-one in OT.
Yes.
There were a couple of pull-ups by guys like Nate and McDavid when they're coming down on Slavin because they're like, I'm not going to beat this guy. He plays so hard. He plays in a smaller market, and I think a lot of Canes fans, like when he gets named, people are like, Slavin, like that's a boring pick. Canes fans are like, you're out of your mind. You don't understand. We were like, no, he is nasty. I was unaware of how nasty he was, and I watch him play a lot. With our job, we watch everyone play a lot. Something about this tournament, the way he elevated, just like the Kachucks did. I mean, good God, man, he is so nasty, and for me, is definitely the best defensive defenseman in the NHL.
Dude, that is my literal. I was just going to save it for the end. That is my literal number 1 takeaway from 4 Nations.
Holy
I guess
shit,
number 1 is like, that was sick, and let's do it. Number 2 is Jacob Slavin is a mega star. Dude, there were plays that were coming. Like, so everybody, you're talking the Seth Jarvis one. There's like 12 minutes left in a tie game in the 3rd period, and Jarvis got a fucking grade A from the slot, and Slavin has that insane block. We had it up on the page with Loop and Glue Guy, insane slow-mo. He literally like picks his leg up. Yep. It's the most insane.
He is moving. I'm going to try to act this out. Yeah. He's moving to his right, and he dives backwards.
Yeah.
He like pivots, dives, throws his legs,
two-pad jammer.
Then folds
Two-pad
over
jammer,
and throws his left leg. He goes down on his stomach. Again, moving
he
left
almost
to
hits
right.
His head. He almost hits his head.
He goes on his stomach and throws his left leg back up over to block that shot.
Dude, it's so good. But dude, here's even bigger, man. We were sitting with Army, who's obviously rooting for Canada. And how many times was he like, Slavin, fuck, God damn. Because there would be plays where it's a clear 2-on-1. Oh, here comes McKinnon and Reiner on a 2-on-1. But before it could even happen, Slavin would like dive bomb it and just break it up in our O-zone.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, he stopped. You see the 3-on-2 because it had developed.
He's a precog.
He's a precog.
He's a precog.
He's a precog.
He literally like he's like, oh, this is about to be a 2-on-1 unless
Minority Report, dude. It wasn't even his shift, Dan. Sullivan's like, dude, someone else go. And Slavin's like, actually, I need to go out because there's a 2-on-1 coming in exactly 40 seconds. Watch this. Now it's gone.
Utterly preposterous.
I've never seen defensive mastery, and I mean that word, mastery like that.
Utterly preposterous. And for me, he was the best player on that ice last night of on both teams.
Agree.
My next point in the similar stance, which you just alluded to, you've been with me. I've been banging this drum for years, and somehow people still don't see it. Everyone, I think, who really, really studies the game does see it. Everyone we were watching with was like, yes, that is correct. It is so undebatable to me how clear it is that Jack Eichel is the best player on Team USA. And as we have said, Jack Eichel, to me, is a top 5, 10 player in the NHL, period. And the way every single game, he has just been so good. And the way he commands the ice, the way he gets everyone he's playing with going, and something that people don't talk about, he isolated McDavid all game. Mm-hmm. All game. And then
he gets the tough job,
Yep. and he takes him away.
Yep.
And then you get the one shift there where he's off the ice, and it's and I'm not being like, and
Yeah,
it was
no.
Austin. Like
Yep.
they got the matchup. I'm not saying that, but it's no coincidence that Connor scores when Jack was off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another one where people need to start understanding how insanely good he is.
It's wild, dude. He was being used to get other guys going, like in the line jumble. Because we joke about it all the time, Matthews doesn't have a lot of assists. You know, Matthews kind of like a get me the puck and I will shoot it guy because I have one of the sickest shots in the history of the NHL, so just give me the puck. But Jack is like, oh, we need to get this winger going. Put him with Ikes. Oh, we got to get this line going better. Put him with Ikes. Move Ikes over there. You know, he is the puppet master in the best way of this team, which is so sick.
No doubt.
Well, actually, let's do another good one. I just wanted to say, man, especially in overtime in the third period, and this isn't anything we didn't know, but when Makar and Nate and McDavid get crossing over specifically,
it's
like
scary.
when they start crossing over, I'm literally like, oh,
it's
fuck. Like, it's actually the craziest thing. They can be behind their own net. They can be behind our net. Just they start moving, and everyone in the box was like, oh, shit. Not this guy, not this guy again. And that is cool. That is like special talent that they just get moving, and it's immediate trouble.
Have to take a second to talk about the unbelievable, cool, crisp, refreshing taste of Labatt Blue. Whether you want an LB, whether you want an LBL, that's a Labatt Blue Light. Whether you're playing hockey, whether you're watching hockey, the best beer to pair with it is Labatt Blue every single time. Every pint, can, bottle is brewed with Canadian kindness. And what more could you ask for when it comes to beer? We just wrapped up the Four Nations tournament. We got NHL action already tomorrow. That means we got to keep the beers flowing, and we're not picking anything other than Labatt Blue. So make sure you crack yourself one today. Get on this train, enjoy some Labatt Blues and Labatt Blue Lights while you watch the beautiful game of hockey.
And how lucky are we?
Damn, dude.
To get to watch these guys play. And I think that's I wanted to go next to Team Canada.
Yeah.
I think one of the cooler things about this tournament for me, and as always, I'm a fan of everyone. I'm a coward.
Yeah.
Watching the way that they celebrated.
Yeah.
Watching specifically, there was a really cool moment of a hug between Connor and Nate, and the smiles on their faces. It was just another moment. We've seen so many moments now of how important this tournament is.
Yep.
Not just to the game of hockey, but to these boys. For me, I know Nate has a cup, but we talked about how since juniors, these guys haven't been able to play for their nations.
Yep.
Seeing those two specifically, knowing how big of competitors they are, knowing how much Connor McDavid wants to win, seeing him get the chance to win something so cool like this, and looking at Nate, another competitor who he goes against all the time.
Who's going to soon. Yeah.
Just the way they were smiling and celebrating it, I got so pumped up because I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, he deserves everything, and I'm so glad he got this win, and I'm so happy for them to have been like, yep, we're doing this new thing, and we're going to show everyone that it matters to us, and we're going to put it all out there, and they did exactly that. And just like seeing the passion of all of them winning was so goddamn cool. And, you know, another awesome thing, after the game, we talked to Dewey, and one of the first things he said was, winning is so fucking awesome.
So fucking awesome, dude. I was like, yeah, damn right.
And I'm just like, dude, this guy has 2 Stanley Cups. He has a Norris Trophy. He is 35 years old. He is coming off of an injury, and he so desperately wants to make this team.
I'm so glad he was there, dude. That's
and
so epic.
They name him to this team, and he plays unreal in every game. And after all of his accomplishments, and in this new tournament, this new cup, the first thing he says is, winning is so fucking awesome.
Yep.
And I'm just like, never lose that, dude. Never lose that fire. And that's why they're so good.
Dude,
and that's why they win.
I'm glad you brought this up. I thought it was really cool. McDavid scores, and he kind of like he goes crazy and does like a hard loop behind the net, and he looked like he was about to drop into another like patented sick fist pump, whatever, and he didn't. He like came up from his curl and just jumped in the air. I think maybe it was Mitch who was right there, but like that low key pumped me up so much because he didn't even take 2 seconds to make it about me. Like, let me just do my quick fist pump, then I'll celebrate with the boys. It was like immediate jump into the arms of the team.
Yeah.
And that's a sick goal, dude. That's one of the biggest goals he'll score.
OT winner against USA in the first 4 nations.
Yeah. So I thought
gas.
that was like a fucking class. Not even class, because he obviously is a classy guy. It wasn't about that. It was just about like, this is where my priorities lie. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So that was fucking sick. That fired me up.
Going to Team USA.
Yep.
We talked about all those players. You're going into, I think you're not talking negatives here, because obviously there's so much bullshit going into this game with all the outside stuff that I don't give a fuck about. I'm not even going to talk about it. And it was really cool how, after the game, some Canadians popped into our DMs like, fuck you, 11th province, Canada flag, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all good fun. And when I reply, I'm like, sick fucking game. That was awesome. They're all like, dude, the best. You guys are the best. It's just, I love this rivalry, because it's like, I'm sorry, man. If you're American or if you're Canadian and you hate one of the other from a hockey/human standpoint, you're an idiot.
Yep.
Because I'm just like, I love everyone in Canada. I hope you feel the same way, especially in the hockey community. So it's like, just seeing all of this was just so fun. But I think this game answered a lot of questions for USA going into Milan. I think that there's some roster things that it'll help determine what the roster is there. But if anything, dude, take all the big brother bullshit out. I mean, Nate said it best. The Canadians have said it best. Like, these teams are the same.
Yeah, we're right there.
Like, it's not even like, well, we're right there. It's like, and I'm not disagreeing with you. It's like anyone being like we're still on top. We're still this. It's like, dude, anyone could have won that game. And don't forget, USA beat Canada 3-1, and Canada beat USA 3-2 in overtime.
Yep.
So it's like, these two teams are so fucking nasty.
Yeah.
And these battles for the next 10 years are going to be just like this.
Dude,
and that is so fun.
I said to you walking in here, and I want to do this. Instead of the like, oh, we're 51st, and I know that's political. It's not like they made that up, but like the 51st state, 11th province, I actually want there to be a bet, like a standing bet between the country of Canada and the country of the United States of America, no matter who is in charge politically. There's like it's written in a treaty permanently forever that there's a standing bet that any time U.S. and Canada men's hockey plays, actually I'll fucking throw the women's team in there
100%.
Too.
Like, it's got to be both. Yeah. Got to be both.
Anytime those teams play, there's something on the line that's like
fun,
like all dressed chips. We get them. We get all dressed chips, or like barbecue. If they beat us, they're like, we get barbecue, dude. You guys don't get barbecue.
See, what I think it has to be is, it's, you were kind of saying this. It's like all dressed chips now need to be in every grocery store in America.
Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly, dude.
Like that's what it's got to be.
Right. So like, I need to be a thing where you're like, everyone tunes into the game because they're like, fuck, we're going to lose barbecue, dude. Like, if we play right before a Super Bowl, and they're like, we can't lose barbecue before the fucking Super Bowl, boys. Come on. We need a win. So I'll draft something up. We'll get it in front of the powers that be.
It'll be so fun.
But I need a consistent standing bet with some fun stakes every time, so it can keep getting passed back and forth for generations, Dan, for our grandchildren to root for this.
No question about it. And yeah, it's just, I'll say it again. Ultimately, as a hockey fan, I am an American. I'm a proud American. And yes, I was rooting for Team USA, but as a hockey fan and with friends on Team Canada, watching Connor McDavid score an OT winner.
Insane.
How do you not love that?
How can you not be romantic about hockey?
It was fucking amazing.
Dude, I don't know if we said this on the pod, but there were every fan that met us in the meet and greet will have heard me say out loud to them, I was like, even if US loses, I just want a sick game. Just want like a sick OT game.
100%.
And exactly what we got. So that was insane. The last few I had, Dan, I thought Dylan Larkin had a great tournament.
Yeah.
After a guy who didn't play much in the
first game. Yeah, they learned their mistake.
And a guy who was a little bit like, and maybe the USA brass would say this was never a conversation, but all the reports was on the roster bubble. Like there were some with him in it, some with him out of it. Doesn't play much in game one. And then obviously it's a game winner in the Canada dub, but just I thought he had tons of chances, was everywhere on the ice. We heard Slavin even say, he's like, God, he's actually nasty from practice. Great tournament from Larkin. Slightly overshadowed by Slavin, but Werenski is a dog. Is a rabid dog, Dan. And he needs to get a shot, or he's going to infect the whole team with rabies.
Dude,
because it's a real problem.
So good.
I can't believe that, dude.
And what has been slept on because the game didn't have a lot of meaning is how good he was against Sweden. I mean, he made that Kreider goal. Holy shit. So, yeah, before we wrap up, a couple things to just touch on about the Team USA. Holy hell, is he good. We did not spend enough time on the just utter stupidity that was scratching Kyle Connor.
Dude.
I almost blacked it out of my memory because it's so dumb. Like, dude, I don't know who the fuck made that decision. Mike Sullivan, if that was you, come to my office, sir.
He's going to score 50 goals.
Dude, I do
not
not give a fuck how you felt he played. You beat the wheels off Finland. You beat Canada with him on the ice, and you lose to Sweden when you're not playing certain guys, whatever. And then you're like, yeah, we're gonna cut Kyle Connor. Like, dude, you don't think it might have been necessary for a guy like Kyle Connor, who's gonna have 50 goals, to be on the ice in that game? It's one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen.
I'm gonna check right now where he is in the league goals, dude. But Dan,
just, like, it doesn't matter.
When
it's what you just said. It's like, dude, what are we talking about?
When it cut to him, when it cut to Charlie, Kyle Connor, 6th in the league in goals with 30. When it cut to Kyle Connor,
insane.
When it cut to Charlie, because his shoulders.
I thought you were gonna do it again.
I know, and everyone's waving at him. He's in the Boston crowd, and it was just Kyle and his neck there next to him. I'd forgotten. I also blacked it out, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, why is he up there?
So dumb.
Get your gear on, dude."
So dumb.
One other funny thing from the beginning that I forgot, and it was perfect, but just hilarious. That at the beginning they're like, "Honor a captain for Canada, the GOAT, the great one, Wayne Gretzky," and then they're like, "Honor a captain for America, Mike Eruzione, who is an American hero and legend." But I was just dying at their careers.
Oh, dude, it's hysterical. Like, he's literally the greatest athlete of all time, and Rizzo.
The hell yeah, Rizzo, dude, that was sick.
So sick.
That killed me.
Okay. I think my last thought for you going in is this tournament.
Yep.
Has showed very clearly, and a lot of people said when the captains were named at this tournament, they went, it doesn't matter, it's for optics, it's for jersey sales, and I tended to agree with that. In what world, if you go to Milan, in what world does Brady Tkachuk not have a letter on his sweater? And then for me, and I said this going in, and I feel so fucking cocky amongst all of our hockey friends. Someone was like, "Who do you make captain of this team?" And I said, Jack Eichel, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
So many people were like, "Really?" And now I feel like people have watched this tournament, and we were talking to a bunch of people, and they were like, "Yeah, I do. I don't know how you don't do that."
Yeah, dude. We said at the top, extremely deserving. It becomes, this actually leads me great into my last point. It becomes weirdly, you set a precedent. You know what I mean? Like, now it's, you took the C from Austin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's not exactly a club team, but it is weird if Austin's just on that team next year. I mean, obviously he will be. If we go to Milan and we go, it's Jack this time.
Yeah.
He goes, what the fuck?
Well, I think the coaches, depending on who the coaches are, will have an effect for sure. But, I mean, I don't give a fuck, dude.
I know. I'm just saying that's frankly, a factor. That's a
Austin
factor.
just took the C from Tavares, so if he had a problem with it, I'd be like, fuck you, bitch.
Dude, don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, like, give me a break.
This tournament did one thing that I didn't anticipate.
Okay.
And it was this. Brady has a quote, it's already up on our page, that's like, that's the most fun. And he hasn't played in a final or anything.
Yeah,
like, that's the most fun I've ever had.
He hasn't played in the playoffs?
And maybe not.
I feel like an idiot saying that.
No, but I think he has. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, just the bonding that the groups have had,
God,
Dan, is an interesting factor, because when people were saying to us, when they were picking this team, you need to take Bedard and like all that shit. And I was like, no, you don't. And their time is coming, and certainly he'll be in Milan. Certainly Mac will be in Milan. That's what I was saying before. And I still think they could and maybe should be, but here's my point.
I do not think that Connor Bedard should be in Milan at all.
We'll see, right? He's got a little time. Maybe he has an incredible year next year.
Yeah, he might explode next year.
But what I'm saying is, before, in my brain, it was just kind of like, yeah, you're just picking fresh again. Yeah. But it's not that anymore, because you put something together here that worked. You know what I mean? And you go, this group loves each other. Yeah, so what do I kick Konechny out? Yeah, and he's like, well, but the boys are like, but we loved him. He went to war with us at Four Nations. Yeah. You know, like, that's a fucking factor.
We're family.
We're family, dude.
No, that's
We're
real.
Family, Herb.
It's a good call. I didn't
That's
think
cool
about that.
because I was like, oh, now it's kind of harder to crack these rosters if you weren't here.
Yeah, and I'll say in addition to that, because this helps that, I fucking loved what Dylan Larkin said. I don't know if you saw this, but he was like, dude, this has been one of the great honors of my life. I love playing for this team. And I think more guys, particularly in the U.S., he was like, you look at the World Championships and you see guys from Canada going and playing, and they win. And they win because of it. And then here they come into this, and they beat us. So guys need to start fucking showing up for the nation, putting on the jersey, putting on the crest, and being like, any opportunity we can, we're going to play and represent USA. And I think that is what everyone should do, especially with these guys being back in the Olympics, with things like Four Nations, World Championships. It's like, dude, every fucking chance you get, play together, bond together, and never, ever lose if you can avoid it.
Yeah, and don't take it for granted, man.
Yeah, 100%.
My God.
So, yeah, it's just so sick. And I feel like, dude, obviously, I'll say it again. This was a big setting the stage for Milan. We're going to have the Czechs, the Germans, the Russians, hopefully in a capacity. Say what you will. These Russian hockey players are great people, and I want them to be able to play. There's going to be a ton of competition. But it feels like both of these teams need to go, the gold medal game better be a fucking rematch of this again.
Yeah.
Because these two nations are disgusting right now.
So
and I need
awesome.
to see them play as often as possible.
Yeah, same.
Ridiculous. That is it for this episode. And I'm sad to say it's it for Four Nations.
Me too.
Huge shout out to everyone. Everyone that we are out here on the road with. Huge shout out to all of the teams, all the players, all of the fans, all of you fans that showed up to our meet and greets, who've been DMing us, following us on all the socials on this whole journey. I feel like this was a marathon.
Yeah, sure was.
And it was so fun, but you guys make it fun. So just so much love to this community because this one rivaled, if not topped, all of the finals for me.
Yep.
And to be able to do this midseason when it's usually a bye and have this much fun and do something this sick is all credit to the community.
Yep. And to share hockey with everybody is such a joy for us.
Such a joy. And like you said, dude, how do you keep up this momentum? Guys, we're in the final stretch here. We got trade deadline coming up soon. Teams trying to make the playoffs, and then Stanley Cup playoffs will begin. So if you think we're taking a break, you're out of your fucking mind. We'll be right back to our normal posting schedule next week, episodes Tuesdays and Thursdays. So until we see you on Tuesday, rest up and then lace up.
And skate hard.